Hi guys, welcome back to this Moneycontrol live stream on a Saturday evening. So, of course, it was a down day for the market. We started on a strong note, but we gave up, we erased the opening gains and ended the day lower. In fact, below that 21,600 mark, around 21,570 is where we are perched at. The good thing is that the Nifty Bank Index ended the day in the green, but for the week, quite a bad week for the Nifty Bank Index. Of course, we saw a steep fall coming in on the Nifty Bank Index, of course, courtesy HDFC Bank. But Yatin, before we delve deeper into what the markets or market internals were looking like, how eagerly are you waiting for the weekend?
Yeah, it's the half weekend is gone, and most importantly, today was a lackluster session in terms of volumes.
Yeah.
Because we spoke to a couple of fund managers, Nandita on CNBC Awaaz, and the likes of Nilesh Shah said that their regulation do not allow them to work on a Saturday. So if you buy any mutual fund or you want to sell any mutual funds for today, Saturday as well as Monday, you will not be able to transact. Okay. So no kind of redemption or fresh application will be processed today as well as on Monday. So keep that in mind. Yes, the market is consolidating, and today it was a rather flat session, if I may say so. 50 points down on the Nifty, and 150 points down on the Sensex. No real activity in the markets, but clearly, Nandita, in today's session, PSU stocks.
Oh yes.
Any PSU
Coal India, railway stocks.
Even the IFCI was up 20%. Today. So strong momentum in PSU stocks, and thanks to a Saturday and no institutional participation, all of these stocks are flying in trade.
That's correct. Well, as I mentioned, Yatin, Nifty Bank Index managed to end the day with gains today. Even metals, for that matter, they had got quite a bit of a drubbing over the last two sessions. They managed to end the day in the green. Stock specific, we had Kotak Bank reporting numbers. Stock did well.
Yeah, 2% higher, right?
Set of, yeah, that's correct. 2% higher. Mixed set of numbers. We'll talk about that in a bit. Reliance Industries reported strong set of numbers, but some bit of profit taking coming in there. HUL, of course, top Nifty loser.
Yeah.
Numbers have disappointed. Volume growth has disappointed, and brokerages have also, downgraded and slashed target prices as well. We'll be talking about that as well. As you mentioned, on the gaining end, Coal India, 5% kind of an uptick coming in there. Kotak Bank, Adani group of stocks, Yatin.
Yeah.
I think towards the end of the session, they also picked up steam. Power Grid and SBI, among the gainers. On the losing end, HUL, TCS, IndusInd Bank, HCL Tech. So, tech stocks coming under a fair bit of profit booking as well. But Yatin, RITES from the railway pack was up quite
Absolutely.
a bit.
So, RITES, IRCON, both of these stocks up 18%. Nandita, and 2 days back, we had NHPC's, institutional quota of OFS.
Yeah.
And never to my mind has such a rally happened in any PSU post the offer for sale by the government. 69.70 was the clearing price for that OFS, and today the stock hit a high of 85 rupees. So almost 20 rupees momentum coming in all of these stocks in the short term. And for NHPC, a 10% move today. What's not doing well in the mid-cap space was the likes of Tejas Networks, quite a weak set of earnings, Mastech, CESC, Abbott India, all of these stocks are witnessing some profit taking. But as I mentioned, no big takeaways from today's trading session, because both DIs and FIs had a very lackluster trade today, because most of them were not working.
Right, of course, Monday is also a trading holiday. 26th again we have a trading holiday, so it will be a truncated week, so to say, next week. But I just want to point out some earnings that trickled in. Nifty earnings, Kotak Bank, ICICI Bank will be reporting anytime. I think it has already reported, just about come out with numbers. But let's talk about Kotak Bank. Q3 profits were below estimate. NII managed to beat estimates. There has been a sharp rise in provisions on a YOY basis, particularly because they have made provisions on the AIF investments to the tune of 190 crore rupees or thereabouts. But what came as a comfort is the fact that margins were steady. Margin pressure was something that the street was fearing for, most of these banks, and, of course, HDFC Bank was a dampener. So, for Kotak Bank, margins were steady, and the street took heart from that, even though loan and deposit growth both have been below expectations, and the management has also, flagged off challenges when it comes to deposit growth. And, even the GNPA ratio has increased on a QOQ basis. But I think it's the margin comfort that has come in, and that has kind of acted as a balm to sentiment when it comes to the market. As I said, ICICI Bank has just about reported its numbers. net NPA fairly stable, and gross NPAs also I think are fairly stable on a quarter-on-quarter basis. We'll see as and when the numbers trickle down, we'll talk more about that. But let's also talk about some of the stocks that are on our radar this afternoon, starting with an HUL, top Nifty loser. Yatin, HSBC has downgraded the stock. In fact, the management commentary is also, the outlook is also a little murky because there are no visible signs of rural demand improving, plus the fact that the company has already taken price cuts in the previous quarter. So the negative pricing is also a headwind that has been flagged off by some of the global brokerages. In fact, even the twin growth engines of the beauty and personal care segment, as well as the food and refreshment segment. I mean, some of these home care and beauty and personal segments have both seen a degrowth, and that is something that has disappointed. And HSBC has said that the weak earnings are not just a factor or symptom of macro headwinds. It's the growth engines also slowing down that has come as a big concern now. And they've downgraded the stock to reduce. Target price has been cut to 2,350 from 2,700 rupees per share. In fact, Morgan Stanley has also said that recovery is still not in sight, and there is a risk of market share loss as well, because there are a lot of regional players that have also cropped up, and which is a big threat to some of these FMCG giants. In fact, MK has pointed out that the stock's valuations at 46 times for FY26 factors in near-term pressure, but a derating could be on the cards if volume recovery remains elusive in FY25. So, it has been pretty much a disappointment when it comes to HUL, and commentary has also not been able to provide some kind of comfort to the street. So, and that is visible in the stock price as well. Top loser on the Nifty today.
Absolutely, and HUL clearly disappointing, and it is not a question of one quarter of disappointment. I think they have been talking about rural recovery, weak monsoon, expectations of a pickup in the festive season. Nothing really worked. Whatever these FMCG companies spoke in the analyst commentary or the conference call didn't work, and probably that is the reason why we are looking at a sharp cut in all of these stocks. HUL down 4% in trade today. Now, RBL Bank, this is another stock which is on our focus. Morgan Stanley has an underweight rating on the stock with a target of 250. Now, here also, if you look at the earnings, a mixed bag. The core profit growth was nearly 40% on a year-on-year basis on a pre-provisioning basis, but it was more or less in line with the street expectations. Now, if you look at the net interest margins, most of these banks are facing some headwinds on that front. Because the cost of funds are moving higher, the CASA ratio growth is also subdued. So the margins missed the Morgan Stanley estimates for RBL Bank by nearly 8 basis points. Obviously, the retail growth for RBL Bank has been good, but yes, the credit card business probably has seen some peakish growth which is happening. Now, if you look at the contingency provision, Morgan Stanley believes that moving ahead there could be some pressures on profits because of this. And probably that is the reason why they are remaining underweight on a RBL Bank. And despite the underweight, by most of these brokerage houses, the shares of RBL Bank have been moving steadily after Mahindra & Mahindra bought some shares from the open market. So the stock performance has been, quite decent in the last 6 months. But probably now there is some profit taking which is quite evident on Dalal Street.
Right, since we are on the topic of banks, Yatin, ICICI Bank, as I was mentioning, net interest income and net profit have been above estimates, and even the GNPA ratio has, improved. Asset quality has improved on a quarter-on-quarter basis. But I think when it comes to margins, I think it's come in at 4.43% versus 4.54 or something.
So more or less a stable
more or
NIM.
less stable, but some bit of downtick in margins. We'll have to see how we really react to that in Tuesday's session. But I think with that, those were all the stocks on our radar this afternoon. And with that, we've come to the end of this edition of Closing Bell. So the weekend has finally started for us after 6 consecutive days of working. So of course, we will be back with the markets on Tuesday. But then, of course, Monday is a big day. As we have Ram Temple,
Pran
Pratishta. Sorry, that's happening on Monday. So that will, of course, all eyes will be on that. But for now, it's a goodbye from me and Yatin. Thanks a lot for tuning in. But of course, you stay tuned to Moneycontrol for all your other news and updates.